Well, welcome to Running True, episode 18. Hopefully the last episode. I'm thinking it's going to be the last episode, but you never know. I kind of wanted to go kind of a recap, if you will, about what I set out to do. And what I set out to do, back in December, I think, was I was getting ready to run an ultra marathon of 31 miles, a 50K. And my training went pretty good through the winter time, but then when spring hit, it was a lot harder. I put on some weight. I'd gotten, I did a 22-mile run at one point, and to me, that was kind of a game changer. In that I kind of realized, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Each week, I would show you where I was on a chart, and then at one point, I got injured, and so that took a big plummet on my progression. I was right on the numbers until I had a knee injury, and then things suffered, and then I made a comeback, and then I decided I'm not going to do the 50K. I backed out and I did a 25K with my wife Sarah. So one of the things I tried to do too in this effort was to draw parallels between transitioning, the kind of transition I'm doing, and long distance running. And also I tried to show why running long distance while transitioning is actually a good thing in any kind of transition in your life. And part of the things I discovered towards the end of this result is that I think it used to be a lot easier for me to come up with conclusions of trying to draw parallels and make things work. And that comes from all sorts of things. That comes from being a writer, not just ad stuff, but also some stories, some poetry, and also in my master's degree work, I became a pretty solid writer through that. But I think this whole ability to kind of like take disparate things and connect them and try to make something cogent out of them, I think I kind of failed on this. And the funny thing is, in this regard for the Running True, I stopped believing some of the things I was saying. Now, I think some of the stuff holds true, but I think I tried really hard to make things work, and as far as drawing parallels between transitioning and running. And some of it is true, and some of it is I'm kind of, I have to admit, the 25K was a bit of a downer for me. I was very slow. I did 13-minute miles, which on that kind of terrain, I should have been doing probably like 10-minute miles, 11-minute miles at best. And so much so that Sarah had to like wait for me quite a few times and wait for me to catch up to her. And, it was funny. I didn't really care. When people were passing me, I didn't really care, where I used to that used to get me kind of upset, and I would do everything to keep from getting passed, or once somebody passed me, I would draw them back in later. And this time I just really didn't care. And I think part of this whole problem, or not a problem, is that with running, you have to push through a lot of things. You have to push through the pain, you have to push through the boredom. And I have found since transitioning, and this could be part of becoming older person too, or just telling the truth about myself, or the actual hormone replacement, I don't know. But what I have found is that I have been in a series of bringing down a lot of walls in my life, and a lot of barriers that I kept up to protect myself. And some of that is a conscious effort where I am letting feelings in, and some of those feelings are feelings of boredom, or feelings of not being comfortable, I guess, running, which running is, like I've said many times before, it's the uncomfortableness that's really transformative. But I have been really feeling it. So it was during this race, and actually during the training, it was really hard to stay in that mindset because of these feelings that kind of crept in that weren't creeping in before. I think I thought the process of preparing for this was going to be a lot like my previous processes, where I got faster, I lost weight, My endurance increased. I could actually feel a big difference each day when I ran, and that just didn't happen this time. And again, that's probably a part of becoming older, and also the hormone replacement therapy. When I don't have like hardly any testosterone left in my system anymore. So anyways, I think I pontificated a lot, and that's part of trying to come up with a reason for this video blog to exist. I felt like there should be some meaning to it, and maybe in the process I became probably more honest. Like I did say, running makes you honest. I think I said running makes you strong, running makes you honest, and the latest installation was going to be running makes you kind. And I think I have to rewrite that and put that up there, because I think running can make you kind if you tear down some of the defenses. And way to tear down some of the defenses is to transition into what you need to be doing, whether it's a new job, whether it's acknowledging your gender, whether it's getting married or not staying married, all those things. I think that makes you a kinder person, and running maybe accelerates it. I don't know. See, I'm trying to bring meaning into this again. I should just stop it. Anyway, so that is kind of it for running true, at least the running part of it. I might continue this thing if people like to keep in touch on where I am in this whole process, more of the transition thing. I might work in a little bit of exercise and stuff, but to be honest, I was so sore after this ultra marathon, and I had to run the next day or work the next day, that I took a week off from running, and it felt really good. I got caught up on my gardening, which my garden is doing great. I finished a painting. Oh, I showed you that already. I did a lot of things that I needed to do. I did some writing on a project I'm working on. So it wasn't this void in my life when I stopped running, that's for sure. And I concentrated more on stuff at work I needed to get done, et cetera, et cetera. So I will probably be back in some fashion talking about things, not preparing for an ultra marathon probably ever again, but you never know. And I thank you very much for hanging with me through these past months, and hopefully I'll have more to say about other things later. So I really appreciate it, and I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.